Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bettina, I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video we are doing my Pan Those Eyeshadows update. I'm very excited to film this update because I have 2 new pans, which means 2 new rollouts. I'm excited to get something new to work on. So if you want to see my progress, then stay tuned. But before we get into the video, if you are new around here and you want to keep up to date on my updates for this project and any of my other project pans that I'm doing this year, make sure you subscribe down below and let's jump on into it. My Pan Those Eyeshadows is probably one of my favorite project pans that I do. I work on 5 eyeshadows at a time. This is my little stack of eyeshadow palettes that I've been working on over the last month. I use the prompts created by Makeup by Lainey. It is a list of 100 prompts. You can randomly generate a number from that list and find a shadow in your collection that correlates to the prompt. I've been working on these prompts since last year. I am slowly working my way through them. I want to eventually have the list complete. We are a very long way off yet, so I'm slowly chipping away at those prompts and I'm here to give you my update. So we'll start off with, I guess I'm going to leave the super special panned shadows right to the last update, but let's start off with my Glamonatrix Silent Night palette. I rotated this one in for the prompt. It was a shadow that starts with the letter J. Now from this palette I rotated in the color Jingle Bells, which is this beautiful like shimmer here, like coppery browny shimmer. I have only used this 5 times and I believe that I haven't used this since the last update, because I'm sure last time I think it was only at 5 as well. So I really need to pick up my game when it comes to using this shadow, because I think it is definitely a beautiful shadow. It's not my favorite shadow from this palette, but I do really enjoy using it. I am just finding it's not taking priority in terms of what shadows I'm rotating in, but I really need to pull my finger out. I need to pull my socks up and give it some more love. I definitely think that the pans in this palette are deep, but I think if I focused on it a little bit more, I could definitely easily hit pan if I tried. Only 5 uses done on this one. So that's Glamonatrix Jingle Bells. Next is the shadow that I rotated in last month, and that came from my Colourpop Just My Luck palette. This one was rotated in to match the prompt, a shadow that starts with the letter O. From this palette I rotated in this color here, which is called Olive You. Now Olive You I've only used 5 times. Unfortunately, we're not seeing much of a dip with only 5 uses. Traditionally Colourpop shimmers I find fairly easy to hit pan on. The other one that I have in this collection or in this rotation though, it's sitting closer to like the 30 uses before I hit pan. So I have a long ways to go before I can even be close to hitting pan on this one. So at 5 uses, still got probably around like 25 uses left to go. The next one is another shadow that is proving difficult, and that comes from my Glamonatrix Nearly Natural palette. I love this palette. This one was rotated in. Now let me make sure I have this right. It is my least favorite shadow from my favorite palette. So this palette right now is my favorite palette in my collection. From this palette I rotated in the color Down to Earth, which is this one here. I have used this one a little bit over the last month. We're currently sitting at 14 uses on this shadow. I don't know how long it takes to hit pan on a matte Glamonatrix shadow. I've never successfully hit pan on a matte Glamonatrix shadow before, so this is definitely a learning curve for the both of us. If you have any Glamonatrix shadows that are matte, even if they're shimmers as well, please let me know. Let me know how long it took you to hit pan on the shadow, pretty please, because I would love to have like a bit of a rough ballpark idea as to how long it's going to take me to hit pan on this shadow. So unfortunately we're sitting at 14 uses. I anticipate that given it's a matte, I probably won't even see a decent dip on it, probably until we're doubling that number. So around 30 uses, I think we'll have a really decent dip. But before that, I don't know. We're really only starting to see now on this shadow a slight dip, and I'm at 14 uses. So this one's probably going to be up around maybe like the 50 uses before I have pan, which is very unfortunate. Next up is my two palettes that I have hit pan on, and if you've been playing at home, along at home since the intro, you can probably guess what those are. So we'll start off with my Colourpop shadow. So this is the Colourpop Blue Moon palette. I rotated this one in as part of an A to Z roulette. From that A to Z roulette, I got the letter L. I rotated in the color Lumi from this palette, and you can see right there, I do have a nice little pan in the middle there. I managed to hit pan on this one just yesterday when I finished painting my nails. I put this over the top of a nice like purpley pink nail polish color. Over the top of that, it looks really, really pretty. I managed to hit pan on this one with a total of 28 uses, and a lot of that came from nail polish usage. So a little bit disappointing that it took me so long, given that I used it as a nail polish so many times, but it's a good understanding now that even some of the shimmers from Colourpop can take me upwards of like almost 30 uses to hit pan on. And then the last one I rotated in to match the prompt of a shadow from a palette with no pans. So for that, I reached for my Be Perfect and Jar the Makeup Artist collaboration palette. This is the Clientele palette. Now from this palette, I rotated in the color Luxe, and that is this one sitting up here. And I think I've done a really good job on this one. I have a really decent sized pan on this one. Now I managed to pan on this one with a total of 35 uses on this one. This one was actually quite tough to hit pan on. I thought that I was making like really good progress at the start, and then it just took forever to hit pan. Once I finally hit pan, I was able to expand it a decent amount, but 35 uses, oh my gosh, these shadows at the moment are proving to require a lot of uses before I'm able to hit pan. But I managed to hit another 2 pans. We are 2 pans closer to my yearly goal, which is fantastic. And I have another prompt marked off the Makeup by Lainey list. Now I do need to randomly generate 2 new prompt numbers. So for that, I'm just going to open up my Pretty Random app. Let's start off, we need prompt number 51 and number 88. So prompt number 51 is a shadow that I want to pan, and prompt number 88 is a red shimmer shadow. All right. Oh, that's scary. Okay, so I'm gonna go hunting in my collection. Now I think for the shadow that I want to pan, I'm definitely going to try and find a shadow that works well in with the remainder of the palettes in this project, as well as my Project Level Up palette. At the moment, I'm seeing like a bit of a gap in terms of like using those shadows cohesively, so I know what kind of shadow I want to rotate in. And then a red shimmer shadow, oh my gosh, that's going to be very difficult. So I'm going to go find those in my collection, and I'll be back in a second. We're back. I've done the eyeshadow hunt. Let's go through and show you what I've picked out. So to start off with is a shadow that I wanted to pan, or that I want to pan. That is for prompt number 51. I grabbed out the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eyes palette. This is the Smoky Eyes Are Forever palette. Now, I have decided to grab for this one right here which I don't entirely know what this is called. I think it's called Love Eyes Smoke. I think that this is going to work well, or I'm hoping that it's going to work well with my new palette that I've just rotated into my project Level Up. So I'm hopeful that this one will work, and this is what it looks like. Let me do a little swatchy swatch. It's very like generic. So I've actually wanted to like hit pan in an eyeshadow in this palette for a little while now because I actually really like it. I think it's a really beautiful palette and I always love the looks that I can create from it. So I am excited to rotate that one in and get some use out of it. Then the next one, which was, I believe, number 88, it was a red shadow shimmer. Very difficult to find actually, because typically red shimmer shadows, or even red shadow, I guess in general, is not really something that I gravitate towards or wear a whole lot. So it was hard to find, but I did find one in my Be Perfect Carnival 4 palette, I think this one is. This is the Antidote palette. Now from this palette, I opened it up and I saw this color immediately, this one here. This one is called Pin Up. It is a red color when it's like swatched. So I'm going to rotate this one in and we'll see how we go. It's like a coppery, like burnt red. So that's that one there. I think it'll work well. I think I'll get some use out of it. I don't think I will be able to wear this every day, but I think I'll be able to get some good looks out of it and I'll be able to give this palette some love again. The only problem with these ones, as much as I really enjoy the Be Perfect formula, I find these palettes are just incredibly hard to store. So that is going to be a difficulty I'm going to have to encounter. So there's that one. Let me just swatch the remainder of the shadows that we'll be working on, just so I can show you my color story. So next we have the Glamonatrix Down to Earth shadow. So we have Glamonatrix Down to Earth, Colourpop Just My Luck, and last but not least is Glamonatrix Silent Night with the shadow Jingle Bells. So this is the color story that I'm going to be working on over the next month. I am very nervous that I'm not going to have any pans next month. I'm optimistic, but I'm nervous that I'm not going to have pan on any of these. So wish me luck. Let me know if you have any ideas of how I can work with this color story, because it's a little bit random at the moment. But I'm hopeful that I can get some good use out of some of these shadows, and hopefully there'll be at least one. If I could have 2 pans next month, that would be fantastic. But wish me luck over the next month. Give me some inspiration in the comments. Let me know how you're going on any of your eyeshadow projects that you're doing at the moment, if you are participating in any. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new around here and you want to keep up to date on all my project pans that I'm doing. That's it for this video, beautiful. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, beautiful.